Hi everybody and welcome back to another Napa STEM Academy art video. Today we're going to create an art project from items we can find in our yard or on a nature walk. It's important for our bodies to stay in motion and for us to get outside and soak up some vitamin D from the sunshine. Your nature jar can be made with almost anything you find in nature. Leafy plants, ferns, sticks, rocks, flowers, or anything else you can find outside. Just make sure that you're not taking any items from another person's yard on your walk if you don't have permission. Let's start out this lesson with some vocabulary. Photosynthesis is the process by which a green plant uses sunlight to change water and carbon dioxide into food for itself. Vitamin D is something your body produces naturally when exposed directly to sunlight. You can also get it through certain foods. Vitamin D helps our bones grow strong. An ecosystem is made up of all the living and non-living things in an area. This includes all of the plants, animals, and other living things that make up the communities of life in an area. An ecosystem also includes non-living materials like water, rocks, soil, and sand. Nature is the physical world and living things in their natural state, all things that are not made by people. What does science say about our nature jar? Well, our nature jar is what scientists call an ecosystem. Just like what you might see in your backyard, the plants, soil, and water all work together, allowing the system to survive. Plants draw up water through their roots, then release it through pores or tiny holes in their leaves. The water then collects on the sides of the jar and falls back onto the soil to be reused by the plant. There is one thing that has to enter this world regularly, and without it, nothing would live. Light. Luckily, the clear glass lets the sunshine in, and from that, the plants can make the food they need to survive. Keep your nature jar near a window where it gets just enough light, but not too much, and it can last for years. Without further ado, let's get started on today's activity. As you are searching in your yard or on your nature walk, use the following list to gather what you will need for your nature jar. Use a bag or some type of container to collect everything. You'll need pebbles, soil, potting mix would be great as well, moss and plants, including the roots, sticks, bark and special stones or rocks, a jar, quart size preferred, spoon, a coffee filter, scissors, a spray mister, and paper towels. Step 1. Fill the bottom of the jar with an inch or so of pebbles. This creates an area where excess water can drain. Then, using the jar lid as a template, cut a circle from the coffee filter and lay it over the pebbles. This will keep the soil from mixing with the pebbles, allowing the water to drain more easily. Step 3. Carefully spoon in 2 inches of soil or potting mix if you have it. Your pebbles plus the soil should have the jar around 1/3 full. Mist the soil with the sprayer until thoroughly dampened but not soggy. If needed, lightly trim the roots and branches of the plants you have chosen so they can fit in the jar. Using a long-handed tool, dig into the soil and press the moss and plants into place. Step 5. Add any special rocks, bark, or any of nature's other treasures that you may have found into your nature jar. Step 6. Mist your plants with the sprayer as well as the soil and the roots, making sure not to add too much. Wipe the inner walls of your nature jar with a paper towel, screw on the lid, and place it in the sunlight. Enjoy! What should you watch for? Watch the nature jar closely over the next few days. If the sides get cloudy or completely covered with water drops, take off the cap for an hour or so to let the water evaporate. A little water on the sides is normal. If the soil starts to look dry, give a little bit more misting. If plants turn yellow or otherwise look unhappy or start to die, cut them out and consider replacing them. How does this relate to the real world? How do the layers in your jar compare or contrast with the layers of the earth? Could all of the items in your jar be found in the same ecosystem? Would your jar be able to support life? Which types of bugs would find your jar to be a comfy home? Here's something you can do just for fun. Model using all 5 senses on your walk. Take turns with a parent or sibling calling out what you see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. There are some plants that are safe for humans to taste, or maybe you find some fruit or vegetables in your yard or on your walk. This next part is very important. Never put any unidentified objects into your mouth. Always check with a parent before putting anything into your body that you don't recognize. If you have a kinder through second grader, consider having these students find what they want for their nature jar, and then you can help them carefully build it, making sure they understand that these are live plants and we want to be careful with them to make sure they survive. If you have a third through fifth grader, consider having these students look up on the internet the different types of plants they find, helping them learn the names and types of plants that are being added to their nature jar. We hope you had fun creating your very own ecosystem. We'll see you next week with another art video.